Hi, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. Today, I'm Teacher Wani going to teach you English Year 5 for topic wildlife. Are you ready for today's lesson? Let's get into it. Before we jump into our lesson, I would like to explain to you for today's lesson's objective. The first one is at the end of the lesson, people will be able to fill in the blanks 3 out of 5 using can or cannot correctly. And the second one, people will be able to write at least 3 questions using how correctly. So let's get into our lesson. So today's lesson, I would like to teach you about 2 things, which is can in sentences and using how in question. So the first one is I'm going to teach you how to use can or can in a sentence. The first one, can. Can we use can in affirmative sentences? Okey, pertama sekali untuk penggunaan can dalam ayat, kita menggunakan can di dalam affirmative sentences. Affirmative sentences adalah ayat penyata yang bersetuju. Contohnya, yang positif. For example, like, I can go to school. Saya boleh ke sekolah. Jadi, dia menunjukkan persetujuan di dalam affirmative in the sentences. While we use can when we have the ability, time or will to do something. Okay, kita juga menggunakan can apabila kita mempunyai ability, kebolehan, masa ataupun semangat nak membuat sesuatu perkara. For example, like this one, I can play the guitar. Saya boleh bermain gitar. It is mean that you can play the guitar. Awak ada ability, kebolehan untuk bermain instrumen gitar tersebut. Okay, can. Use can to when we have the ability, bila kita ada kebolehan. Okay. And this one, the next example, I can go to the store later. Means that, maknanya ayat 5 bermaksud saya mempunyai masa untuk pergi ke kedai tak lama lagi. Okay, so just like I explained you just now, we use can when we have the ability, time or will. Kita menggunakan can di dalam ayat apabila kita mempunyai kebolehan untuk melakukan sesuatu perkara, masa ataupun keinginan untuk melakukan sesuatu. Okay, anda faham bagaimana nak menggunakan can in sentences? Good. So, we will go to look at can or cannot. Okay, can is a short form of cannot. Okay, ejaan can ini adalah bentuk ringkas bagi cannot, tidak boleh. Okay. Just now, can we use in affirmative sentences? Kita menggunakan can apabila untuk bersetuju dalam ayat untuk menunjukkan positiveness, positif dalam sebuah ayat. Tapi can, we use can in a negative sentences. Kita gunakan di dalam ayat-ayat yang negatif. Maknanya ayat yang menunjukkan ketidakbolehan. Okay. We use cannot or can when we don't have the ability, the time or the will to do something. Okay. We use cannot. Kita menggunakan cannot atau tidak boleh ni apabila we don't have, awak tak ada kebolehan, masa ataupun keinginan untuk melakukan sesuatu perkara. Okay, for example, sebagai contoh, I cannot sing. Maksudnya, saya tidak ada kebolehan ataupun tak ada kemahiran untuk bernyanyi. Okay. So, ability. Okay. I can't travel until December. Maksudnya, saya tidak mempunyai masa, dia tidak boleh nak travel, nak pergi berjalan sebab mungkin busy and so on. Okay, so dia tidak mempunyai masa. This is for time. Okay, this one for ability and this one for example for time. Okay, just for recap, can we use in affirmative sentences. Kita gunakan can di dalam affirmative sentences untuk menunjukkan kebolehan, ability, time and or will that we have it. While can kita guna in negative sentences bila kita tak ada ability, time or will to do something. Okay? Okay, good. Do you understand? Yes. Okay, let's get into the next slide. However, did you notice that in the sentences, the can or cannot come before the verb? Okay, perkataan can or cannot, boleh atau tidak boleh, itu datang sebelum verb. Okay, do you remember what is verb? Very good. Verb is kata kerja. Okay, for example, you look at this example that is written here. The word in green is the verb and the word in blue is can or cannot. You can see I can travel. Travel is a verb in December. I cannot or can't travel now. Travel is a verb. So, the word can or cannot, they come before the verb. Dia datang sebelum verb. Okay, the one in the green. Verb. Semuanya sebelum verb. Okay? Okay, you may pause the video to look, to read, and to understand the example that I've given to you. Okay, are you ready for the next lessons? Let's get into it. Next lesson is question in how. With how. Okay, how. Nak guna how in soalan. Macam mana kita nak guna how in soalan? Okay. Before I explain further, I would like to explain what is how. How tu apa? Very good. How itu sama ada bagaimana ataupun berapa. How is one of the question in WH question. Dia adalah salah satu bentuk kata ayat tanya di dalam WH question. Which is what, when, will, what, when, who, and then how. How is one of the one of the ayat tanya di dalam WH questions. Okay, how. We use how when we introduce direct and indirect questions. Okay, just like I explained to you earlier, how membawa maksud bagaimana atau berapa. Okay, in this slide, dalam slide yang saya tunjukkan ni, dia menunjukkan, dia explain how yang kita gunakan dalam bagaimana, membawa maksud kepada bagaimana. Okay, for example, how are you? Bagaimana dengan awak? Next one, do you know how I can get to the zoo? Okay, I'm sorry, supposedly they have a question mark here. But awak tahu bagaimana saya boleh pergi ke zoo? Okay, so this is how bila kita tanya bagaimana. Okay? Okay, there's another how. Dia ada lagi satu how, which is we use how to introduce question about measurement or amounts. Okay, bila kita guna how ni untuk memperkenalkan pengukuran ataupun bilangan sesuatu. Seperti contoh berapa. Dalam bahasa Melayu kita senang panggil berapa. berapa. For example, the example that I give you is, how old is your monkey? Berapa tua ataupun berapa umur monyet awak? How long is an elephant trunk? Berapa panjang belalai gajah tersebut? So, this long old, this is when we use for introduce measurement, untuk measurement, untuk pengukuran, untuk mengetahui ukuran, bilangan dan sebagainya. Okay, do you understand, class? Okay, next one. Okay, this is example of how in measurement. This is what we are going to learn today lah. How in measurement. Okay. How far? Far mean jauh. Okay. So how far? Ayat dia digunakan untuk distance, jarak. Okay. How far is the bus station, please? Berapa jarak pergi ke stesen bus? How far is the supermarket, please? Berapa jauh jarak supermarket? So how far? Far for jarak, distance. High. High, how high? High for ketinggian. Okay. How high is the Big Ben? How high is the Eiffel Tower? These are the example when we use high. How high? Next one. Often. Often means kerap. Berapa kerap? Kekerapan. How often do you practice tennis? How often do you travel? How long? Long means panjang. Okay, tadi high, tinggi. Long for panjang. How long is this road? How long will it take to visit our house? It's measurement for panjang. Okay. How much? How much and how many is both for berapa banyak, for amounts, bilangan. But it depends on, yes, very good, depends on countable and uncountable. If something is uncountable, we may use much. Okay, many is more into countable noun. Okay, how much bread do you want? How much does this phone cost? Berapa harga telefon ini? Berapa banyak roti yang awak mahu? How many? How many children do you have? Berapa banyak, ramai anak kamu? Berapa ramai manusia di dalam United Kingdom? Okay, these are the example for how much and how many. Okay, that's all for today, class. I hope you can understand on how to use can or can in sentences, and using how in questions. Okay, before we end our lesson, I would like to recap for a few times so you won't forget. Okay, first one, can or cannot. Can we use in affirmative sentences? For example, affirmative sentence like you, yes, you agreed in a sentences. Awak setuju di dalam ayat tu. To show ability, awak punya kebolehan, masa dan keinginan. Can, cannot guna di dalam negative sentences untuk menunjukkan awak tak boleh, tak ada kebolehan. You don't have the time, tak ada time and tak ada keinginan. And while for how there are two. There are two. The first one is introduce direct and indirect question. For example, bagaimana in Malay. And another one, how for measurement. Untuk mengukur sesuatu atau bilangan. Which means berapa di dalam bahasa Melayu. Okay? That's all for today, class. I hope you understand this video, and if you have any question, you may contact me, and I hope you may use this knowledge for further future. That's all for today. Thank you, class. Bye.